Hi, I'm Dr. Steve G. Jones here with my friend Dr. Fab. How you doing, Dr. Fab?
I'm doing great. Hey everybody, good to see you.
He's invited me here to talk about hypnosis, and we got a mastermind group here in front of us. We got some people here who are going to be learning about how to create products, how to market them. You guys want to learn that, right? Or how to write books, how to create MP3s, how to create videos, and how to market those things. We're going to talk about all those things, and we're also going to talk about hypnosis. I'm going to do a hypnosis session with you guys so we can kind of lock in that change, because sometimes when you hear about stuff like that, you think, well, I don't know, is that for me? Can I do that? So we're going to work on hypnotically programming you for that. So thanks, Dr. Fab, for having me here. Yeah.
Thank you.
So this is your mastermind group. So you guys want to talk a little bit about that? What you guys do?
Yeah. So we have a mastermind group that we get together a few times a year, primarily to talk about how to influence more people. You know, all of us are in different industries. All of us are really service oriented and just trying to manifest the ability to impact the world in a better way. Primarily by becoming a best-selling author, or maybe public speaking to thousands of people at a time, or becoming a media expert, in which we become the expert on radio and television so we can get our message to more people.
Yeah, good stuff. So you guys are all part of that. So today I've been brought in to teach you guys how to do a few specific things that I know about, and I'll start with telling you why Dr. Fab feels that I'm uniquely qualified to teach you this. I've written 22 books on hypnosis. I've created 22 different certification programs that are hypnosis, life coaching, Ericksonian hypnosis, business coaching, things like that. I've created 9,000 hypnosis MP3s, so a lot of MP3s. And I've done all of this, and now I'm able to have the rewards from that. And the rewards are twofold. Number one, I get to help a lot of people with all that stuff that I created. And number two, financially, of course. You get money for the rest of your life after you do that. So sound like something you guys want to learn how to do? Okay. Yeah. Is anyone, besides Dr. Fab, is anyone an author here already? Anyone written anything, published anything? Someone's pointing to you. Did you, nope?
They're out there on the path there.
Yeah.
Okay, you're on the path?
Yeah.
Both of you?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
In the process of writing.
I'm sorry?
In the process of writing.
Oh, good. Yeah, I encourage you to do that. I encourage you to make it happen and to move forward with it, because what you're going to find, and I don't know if you found this to be true also, but what you're going to find is that once you write it, that was actually the easiest part. The challenge comes in promoting it and getting it out there. Have you found that to be
Yeah,
the case
it's,
as well?
they say that you should spend double the time in how you're going to promote a book instead of just writing the book. So tell me a little bit about how was that experience for you? When did you think about writing your first book, and what was it that allowed you to get it done?
Well, it's interesting. I started hanging out in a local book club, writers club, people who were in the community and wanted to learn how to write. And this was in Savannah, Georgia. And I was just going to, I think it was a Barnes & Noble, where they had this meetup type group. And I went there, and the lady who was teaching it had written a book and published it, and some other people had also. And I showed her what I had written, and she said, "You don't have one book here, you have several books." And that's what had been stopping me. I didn't realize that I needed to subdivide it. I had hypnosis, advanced hypnosis, and a few other resources in there. So my first book was actually several books, because I took what I thought was this daunting bunch of knowledge I had to present to the world, and I broke it down logically. So that's how it started for me, just hanging out, the local crowd, talking about possibilities, presenting the lady with my challenge, and getting some insights into that.
And then, so from there, did you decide to go to a publishing house? Did you get a literary agent, or?
I had a lot of experience with that. I find that the most money, I think, is in self-publishing, because you're going to be able to control 100% of the profits. I do have two publishers that I went to. I had a literary agent for a while, but I think that for people starting out, what you're going to find that in publishing currently is that publishers are looking for a following. If they're going to invest in you, they want to know that those books are going to sell. And if those books aren't going to sell, there's no evidence that those books are going to sell, they're not going to invest in you. In fact, it's going to be quite the opposite. You've heard of vanity publishers, a lot of them. They're going to require money from you anyway. And so a lot of times, I think the best thing for new authors is to self-publish. And if you start small with an ebook, small meaning small cost with an ebook, you can get that thing out online. And I sell a lot of ebooks. I make a lot of money selling all of my books are available in ebook form. That's a really smart move in my opinion. Do you think so?
No, very much so. And I think that putting together an ebook is a lot simpler than putting together a published book. And then from there, what are some of the things that you learn as far as formatting a book? Did you start with your title first? Because that's one of the things I get questioned all the time. What is the best thing to do? Start with the title. How do you get the table of contents? How do you do your research as to, is this something that people are going to like in the first place?
Right. For me, when I first started out, I didn't worry about the market. I didn't worry about if people would like it or not. I had some knowledge inside me. So maybe you guys do too. Maybe you have some knowledge inside you. Maybe you're a subject matter expert on something and you just want to get that out. So for me, that's what it was. Now we analyze the market a little bit better because we want to know when we go into creating a program, like when I do a new project with Joe Vitale from The Secret. We did Wealth Trigger 1, 2, 3, and 4. We make sure that there's going to be a receptive audience for that they're going to want to do that. When I did something with Patty Stanger, the Millionaire Matchmaker, after I was on the show, The Millionaire Matchmaker, as a millionaire, Patty and I then got together and created a product with Joe Vitale from The Secret. We wanted to make sure it was something people wanted. So it was on how to, become a millionaire, how to manifest things that you want. So now we do market research. But initially, you probably have, you guys have that, like a book inside you that just wants to come out? What's the book about?
Personal development.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Is it you writing together?
No.
Mine is about family and health.
Okay, good. So I would do that. I would start with that because that's your passion. That's what's inside you. That's the baby that needs to be born. That's something that needs to come out. And I don't worry about the title until last. I don't know about yourself, but I get it out there and I think, okay, there it is. What would I call it? And then I figure out the title. How do you do that?
I in all my books typically I start with the title, but I noticed that the more I interview people, it varies.
Yeah.
So I think it's just whatever you feel comfortable with.
Yeah, whatever works for you.
Yeah.
That's great advice. So whatever, if you don't have a title dialed in, or sometimes you'll have one dialed in and the publisher will say, I think the title should be this, it should be that, or this will be more marketable and more precise for your target audience than what you thought of.
Now, Steven, you've written many books, but you're also one of the leading figures out there in producing products online. In today's world, would you say that if you're going to do a physical book, you should always have a product in mind, or what would you recommend to somebody?
You mean a product along with it, like an audio?
Like an additional component to the book, maybe a deeper sense of work with regarding the same subject matter.
Yep. There's always got to be an upsell. There's always got to be a place for them to go. There's always got to be the next step because people want to know the next step. So always have that in mind. We don't release any products. We have product launches all the time with my new products. We don't have any product launches now without an upsell, something for them to go to. And it's not so much a marketing thing as it is serving the public thing, because a lot of people will be fine with the basics, whatever you're presenting, but there will be those people who want more. They want to know what's beyond this. What's the advanced step? What's the level beyond that? So always keep that in mind. What would be a logical thing to then offer those more advanced students?
And then, but how do you come together with, how do you create these products, or what would be your recommendation after mastering that for so many years?
After creating well, these days we're very sophisticated with it. We have a number of offices. We have our marketing office in New York. We have copywriters and so forth. We have our editors and auditors and so forth. But
for somebody getting started.
Yeah, when you're first starting, I think the best way to do it, everyone's different as we talked about, get yourself some kind of audio recorder and just start blabbing your book into it. Just you're walking around, you got an idea, you're walking in, Rome or Las Vegas or wherever you happen to be. Just got out of the shower. I got an idea. I've got more information for that book, and you capture it. because a lot of times books are random ideas floating around in your head that haven't been captured. And for me personally, that works. If I were to sit down at like a typewriter or a computer and say, time to type my book, I just wouldn't know what to do and nothing would come out. It comes to me randomly, and I want to capture it like that. Sometimes after a good cup of coffee, I'll get a whole chapter out. You know, it just flows right out. You've got to be able to capture it in whichever way that you capture it.
And when you started your online programs, right, you were one of the pioneers in beginning to put content online that people were going to buy. So what would you tell somebody today when they're thinking about creating programs online, and what have you discovered in your journey? Because, you know, there seems to be a lot of demand for it, but it also seems to be a lot of programs out there that are not going anywhere.
The marketplace has gotten really crowded, and we have access to an email list, which is probably around 10 million or more people, because we have a large email list of about 500,000 people, and our friends, you know, Bob Proctor, Bob Doyle, Joe Vitale, all the people we work with, my new partner Kevin Harrington, the original shark on Shark Tank, they have access to all these people. So we have access to everyone. Initially, you're going to have to really promote yourself before you make those connections. The biggest secret to that is build your email list. Your email list is your currency. We always ask when people want to work with us, well, how big's your email list? And they'll come to us and they'll say, I got an idea. Why don't you sell my book to your big email list, and you keep half the money and I'll keep half. And then our answer to them is, well, that sounds nice, but we can just do that with my book and we keep all the money. So why would we sell your book? And that's a logical marketing question. The solution to that for you guys is to build up your email list. Now you have an email list. Now you have some bargaining power. You send an email for my book, I will send an email for whatever you have. So that's how you initially start building that up.
That's exciting. And how many people out there do you find are wanting to learn online? Because you put together so many online programs.
Yeah, most people. You know, when I was working on my master's degree and my doctorate, I found that currently people are gravitating toward online. Even Ivy League schools like Harvard are offering online programs. This is a big thing now. This is what people want to do. People, I don't know if it's laziness or efficiency or saving money or saving time and trouble, probably all of those things, but people want stuff online. I'm always preaching to my friends that, you know, if you're doing things in person, you can reach a lot more people online. So we have about 30,000 students globally right now, for example, through our online programs. You know, if I had to have all of them in person, that would be a huge building. My doctorate is in education. I am trained to be the president of a university. My doctorate's in educational administration, but I really don't want to oversee the toilets and the air conditioning of this big building. You know, it's so much easier and more efficient to reach people online. And people like it.
No, I agree, especially the young generation, which is learning.
Yeah.
But let's talk a little bit about your media, because you become an expert out there for so many years. You're used to doing TV shows, radio shows, you know, you get filmed to do documentaries and movies. Tell me a little bit about why you feel that's important. Like, how did your life change when you started doing media relations?
Yeah, it's brand building. You know, when you write a book, you may not make a lot of money off it. That may be a shocker when you find out that you won't get rich writing a book necessarily, but you know what you will get? You get street cred. That's a good thing. Somebody's going to look at you and say, that person knows what they're talking about. They must know what they're talking about because they wrote a book about it. So you take yourself and your book and you go to your local TV station, wherever you happen to live. Where do you guys live?
In Romania.
In Romania? Okay. Keep it general. I'm American. I wouldn't know the city anyway. In Romania, so go ahead.
Denver.
Denver, Colorado, and Norway, right?
Norway.
Okay.
Maryland.
Okay. So wherever your local market is, preferably English-speaking, just so you can reach the English-speaking market, unless you just want to focus on your market. You can go, at least you two having English-speaking markets, go to your local news place. And most of the places, ABC, NBC, CBS, those are the big three affiliate networks in the United States. They have little affiliates all over the place. There's a local CBS and NBC and ABC where you guys live, and you guys can probably hook them up too and have them come over. And so you take your book that you wrote, maybe you self-published it, you go on TV, that's NBC, ABC, CBS, and you go get interviewed on there. They love to see the local success story. When I lived in Savannah, Georgia, they loved to interview me around New Year's time because it's time for changes, time for New Year's resolutions. Let's bring in the hypnosis guy to talk about it. Well, the hypnosis guy would show up with his book. Here's my book, here's me. So it builds the street cred, it builds your credibility to the masses, and that's what you want to do. That's the purpose of getting that kind of stuff. So eventually I was able to get written up in Forbes magazine. Forbes wouldn't have had any interest in me if it weren't for the other stuff. You yourself, you've been on Dr. Phil, you've been on the doctors. That stuff builds on itself. You may not get rich from it. I mean, did you get rich from being on Dr. Phil or the doctors? You probably didn't get a $5 million paycheck from that.
No.
But you build hey,
credibility.
Yeah. Hey, this guy is somebody.
Yeah.
I saw him on TV. Dr. Phil thinks he's someone. The doctors think he's someone. They've checked him out. They don't just put anyone on TV, they check him out. So that just builds your credibility, social proof.
No, that's really important, and I noticed also that you reach a lot more people because that's a medium of communication.
Yeah.
And as you know, we live in a society that people are glued to the TV or the radio.
Yeah.
And anytime you do an interview, all of a sudden, you do that.
More people
Yeah.
get exposed to what you're doing. More people
So,
find out about it.
What can you teach us, Stephen, about hypnosis, and how can we implement hypnosis in our development of our personal and professional lives?
You're a great interviewer, by the way. I just want to point that out. I didn't even know we were going to do this interview style.
Oprah
You're
thinks so too.
Oprah thinks so too? Okay, good. Glad she agrees with me,
Yeah.
for once. All right, so the way you can use this with hypnosis? Is that
Yeah,
what you
like how you have taught millions of people about how to leverage hypnosis in order to improve and manifest the things they want out of life, in order to be able to change those things that are keeping them from really truly succeeding and showing the best version of themselves. So what can you teach us in a practical way? How can we put that into play?
Yeah, let's go ahead and jump into that. So I teased you guys a little bit with a hypnosis session. You guys want to do that?
Yeah.
All right. So I think the most practical use of this information would be for me to teach you, first of all, how to do self-hypnosis so you can do it yourself. This is not just something that hypnotists do. You can do it yourself. You don't have to have a hypnotist per se. And then to do a hypnosis session with you, to show it to you in action. And we're a little bit limited on time, so I'm going to do a short hypnosis session for you. But when we're done, I'm going to tell you where you can go to get access to a longer hypnosis session that's about an hour long. But we're only going to do a compressed one today. That sound good?
Yeah.
All right. So the things that I understand you guys want to work on from talking to Dr. Fab would be creating these things, creating books and MP3s and videos and learning more about it. And I think more than anything, what I can impart to you today is the confidence to do that. Program you for 6 months from now, I'm going to do that. It's going to happen, that kind of thing. So we'll work on that. And I'll also throw in some confidence and motivation and just all around good stuff. That helps. That sound good? All right. So let's talk briefly about what hypnosis is, so you know what you're getting into, and you still have a chance to leave if you want to. So hypnosis is just a relaxed state of mind where you're open to suggestions, you're open to positive suggestions, you're open to change. And hypnosis has been around for a long time. It's just a relaxed state of mind. It's what we call alpha. Alpha is the lightest state of hypnosis. You can be in it when you're watching TV, reading a book. When you're driving, sometimes you can go into alpha. When you're just waking up, just going to sleep. When you're spacing out, when you're daydreaming, those are examples of when you're in alpha. So the only difference between that and what we're going to do today would be two things. Number one, you're going to be going in it because of the words I'll be using as opposed to just going into it naturally. And number two, those words are going to be positive words. I'm going to put positive suggestions in your mind. You're not just going to be watching TV and taking in what that says or spacing out. You're going to be getting positive programming. So that's what we're going to do. The 5 parts of the hypnosis session I normally teach in an 8-week program. We're going to talk about them in about a minute and a half. And those would be the induction, First, I'm going to induce the hypnotic state. I'm going to have you imagine yourself walking along a beach. Anyone here opposed to the beach? You all like the beach? Good, cool, good stuff. And then I'm going to, so that's the induction. I'm just going to have you imagine yourself on a beach. Maybe take a bit of imagination being here in the middle of a desert, but think of yourself on a beach. We're going to do that. Then I'm going to do what's called the deepening, which is where I'll describe the sun setting. As the sun goes lower, you relax more deeply. Then I'm going to do the script. The script is where all the change is, all the things I talked about. You getting the motivation to move into that compelling future, creating books, MP3s, anything you want, videos, whatever you want to do. I'm going to give you the power to do that. So that's the script, where I'll be programming you for change. Then I usually do amnesia. Amnesia is where I cause you to forget the programming so you don't consciously analyze it afterwards. I'm not going to do that today because I want you to remember. I want you to remember, what you learned here today, and so you can apply it yourself. And then we're going to do transtermination, which sounds scary and strange and technical, but it just means 1, 2, 3, come out of hypnosis. I'm going to terminate the hypnosis session. On a hypnosis recording, it would probably say drift off to sleep at the end of it. But today I'm just, if you have my recordings, you know what I mean. So today I'm just going to say 1, 2, 3, come out of hypnosis, but in a more professional way. Any questions? Let's do this. So what I'd like you guys to do is to just find a relaxing spot to sit or lie down. You can even lie on the floor. The camera's not on you, it's on us. So if you want to lie down, the only thing I want you to make sure of is that if you were to lean one way or the other, you wouldn't fall out of anything. So yeah, if you're going to do there, that's fine. But make sure you lean toward the table. There you go. Or you can have this really cool throne chair here if you want it. There you go. All right. All right, we're gonna dim the lights and everything.
Everybody's relaxed.
Yeah, wow.
It looks like everybody's hypnotized already.
Yeah,
We haven't even
good
started.
stuff. Good stuff. If you look me up in Wikipedia, you'll see at Awesomeness Fest where I have everyone hypnotized in front of me and no one's in the chairs. So it looks like no one showed up, but they're all lying on the ground. If you look closer,
I remember because I was there.
There you go.
You got over 400 people laying on the floor.
Yeah. Okay, good stuff. So we're going to make this brief. I've been talking about 22 minutes here. You want me to keep the whole thing in about 30 minutes? So maybe do like an 8-minute hypnosis session? Okay, cool. All right, so what we're going to do is a very brief hypnosis session. I want you to realize that because of the brevity of it and the nature of hypnosis, you may be aware of what I'm saying while I'm saying it, and that's fine. You're still in hypnosis. Like when you drive a car, you can go into hypnosis. You're still aware of where you're going, but you're in hypnosis. So hypnosis in the alpha state, you can still be aware of what's going on, yet you are relaxed. So if you remember everything I say, if you're aware of everything I say, that's absolutely fine. You don't have to go to the deeper states of hypnosis to be in hypnosis. You still get all the benefits, even if you're aware of what I say. All right, we're clear for takeoff. Everybody take a deep breath in through your nose. Hold it. Open your mouth slightly and exhale slowly. And then another deep breath in through your nose. Hold it. Open your mouth slightly and exhale slowly. Good. And one more time. Deep breath in through your nose. And hold it. Open your mouth slightly and exhale slowly. Good. And then continue breathing normally, effortlessly, deeply, in a relaxing way as I continue talking. And I'm going to now describe to you a beach. This is your beach on your private island. You are alone and safe. No one and nothing will disturb you. Find yourself walking along the beach. It's a beautiful day, beautiful white wispy clouds in the sky. Beautiful blue sky, a few birds in the sky that you can hear. You can hear the waves rolling in and out as you relax more and more. Feel the sand on the bottom of your feet as you just allow yourself to walk toward the edge of the water. So relaxed, so at ease as you continue walking, unwinding and relaxing. And smell that salty air. It's so soothing and refreshing. And you can feel every muscle in your body move as you walk and just unwind. And listening to the sound of my voice, you allow yourself to drift now and open your mind and just unwind. And I'd like you now to find a safe, dry, comfortable place on that beach where you can sit and watch the sunset, because it is the end of a beautiful day and the sun is about to set on the horizon. And as you sit down in that safe, dry, comfortable place, you are so relaxed. And you relax yourself from head to toe. The energy from the sun relaxes your head and moves down to your shoulders, moves down to your chest area, your abdominal area. The sun relaxes your entire body all the way down your arms to the tips of your fingers. As you continue relaxing, the relaxing energy from the sun moves down your torso, down your legs, down to the tips of your toes as you continue relaxing, unwinding, and letting go. And in just a few moments, the sun's going to set on the horizon. I'm going to count from 10 to 1, and as I do, the sun will slowly set, because the lower I count, the lower the sun goes, starting with 10, and then 9, down, down, deeper and deeper, 8, 7, relaxing more and more deeply as the sun sets on the horizon. 6 becomes 5, and then 4 as the sun sinks lower and you relax more deeply. 3, 2, at the count of the next number, the sun will have completely set and you will be completely at ease. All right now, 1. The sun has set completely on the horizon and you are completely at ease. Because you are relaxed and at ease, your mind is open to all positive possibilities as you imagine yourself standing now and removing from your back a backpack that you've been carrying. This backpack contains all of the negative thoughts, negative feelings that have been slowing you down, all of the feelings about lack, the feelings of inability. And you're taking that backpack off now. Feel yourself taking the straps of that backpack off of your shoulders. It's as if you have been carrying around a heavy burden most of your life, a burden of negativity, negative words, negative ideas, things that worked against you. But as you take that backpack off now and let it fall to the ground, you feel so much lighter, in fact, that you can imagine yourself rising up above your body now and moving forward. And as you imagine yourself moving forward, I'd like you to imagine moving into the future, moving slowly into the future 6 months from now. Go ahead and imagine yourself setting down in that future and looking around in your mind. Notice all of the things that you have accomplished in just 6 months. Notice that you started believing in yourself 6 months ago and you started manifesting the results of your positive belief in yourself. Notice how much you have gotten done. Notice how you've gotten that chapter written, or those ideas sketched out, or you've contacted those people you needed to contact. You have made things happen. Maybe you've written an entire book. Maybe you've completed a project, perhaps several projects, but see yourself standing there 6 months in the future, having achieved something that makes you feel wonderful. And as you look forward from that point in the future, you see a compelling future beyond that. You see even more possibilities, even more distinctions, even more things that you can do. And I'd like you now to feel all those good feelings about your possibilities and crank them up to a level 10. On a level from 1 to 10, crank them up to a level 10, that belief in yourself, that confident feeling as you now stand in the future 6 months from now, having achieved something amazing and looking forward to more achievement. And as you feel those good feelings, I'd like you to make the OK sign with your right hand, touching the tip of your right index finger to the tip of your right thumb. And as you do this, as you make the OK sign with your right hand, I'd like you to think the word confidence. That's right, confidence. And now you can release that. And the next time that you need to feel confidence, all you have to do is touch the tip of your right index finger to the tip of your right thumb and say the word confidence. And you will be immediately reminded of this power that you have, this power of confidence, of creativity, of motivation. You are able to create whatever you want. Notice yourself feeling confident in the future about writing books if you want to, about creating audios that help people if that's what you want to do, about creating videos, about reaching out to media outlets, about promoting the good quality, amazing work that you are doing, because you have a gift to share with the world, and it is your obligation to make sure the world knows about that, and you are compelled to do that now. And as you feel yourself floating back to the present, relaxing your hand, relaxing your body, you bring with you all of those good positive feelings. And you remember that anytime you need a boost of confidence, all you need to do is make the OK sign with your right hand and say the word confidence, and you will be immediately reminded of that compelling future that you are creating. That will give you the motivation to continue moving forward. And in just a few moments, I'm going to return you to full awakening consciousness. When I do, you will be wide awake and full of natural energy. Before you go to sleep tonight, you will take one step, something you've been putting off, something that's good for you and all those around you, something that gets the energy flowing, something that you've been meaning to do, but you've been putting it off, you've been procrastinating, something that you need to do that's going to help you create that compelling future. You're going to take that one step, whether it's an email, phone call, reaching out to someone in some way, whatever it is, you'll take that one step before you go to sleep tonight, and that will be a signal to your subconscious mind that you have changed. You're a new person now. You believe in your possibilities, and you create your own future. You are a manifester now. You manifest your future. All right, coming up very slowly to the count of 3, so that by the time I reach that final number, you'll be wide awake and completely out of hypnosis, feeling wonderful about yourself and your possibilities, and ready to learn and share and grow. 1, coming up feeling very good. 2, beginning to stir now, becoming very aware of where you are, very aware of your surroundings. At the count of the next number, you'll be wide awake and completely out of hypnosis. All right now, 3, eyes open, wide awake, and completely out of hypnosis. You're awake too, good.
That's amazing.
You like that?
Now, help me understand why the experience of those feelings is so important, because I was feeling a sense of not only a lot of emotions, but a sense of a stronger attachment to what it is that I wanted to create.
That's good. Yeah, that's important. You mean the anchoring part?
Yeah.
Okay, that's important based on Pavlovian psychology. Pavlov, the Ivan Pavlov, the Russian psychologist, whose parents, by the way, wanted him to be a priest. And he said, no, I'm going to go work with dogs and find some things that apply to humans, hopefully. So he did that. So we want to get you in state. Yeah, we want you to feel those feelings that you're talking about. We want you to feel those feelings in your compelling future. We want you to then be able to anchor yourself to it. Ivan Pavlov anchored dogs to being hungry when he rang a bell. You know, he would ring a bell and he didn't have to have them smell meat anymore. They automatically salivated. So I've anchored you guys to having access to those compelling, powerful thoughts of your future by just making the OK sign with your right hand and saying the word confidence. So anytime you need that, that's the anchor we installed. All you have to do is make the OK sign, say the word confidence, and you've been anchored to those feelings. So that's why it was important for you to feel those so you could really get in touch with that.
Any questions? What a feeling, huh?
Thanks.
All right, sure thing, guys, anytime.
That's powerful.
Oh, my pleasure.
Well, thank you so much for
Anytime.
being with us and sharing always your wisdom, and thank you guys for participating. This is a real treat.
My
Real
pleasure.
treat.
My pleasure.
And for those of you guys, I hope you enjoyed it, and if you get a chance to get anything from him and get more access, you better do it because you're gonna benefit.